Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Aries, June 20th, 2022. The moon spends today in your solar third house, and you're busy and engaged, although not especially focused. It's a better time to put your feelers out and collect information than it is to lock something down. You crave a mental connection now. Still, intuition can help you further your work or health interests this week. There can be an opportunity to make a valuable contact through your chores, work, or daily routines. You can benefit from approaching these affairs and domestic matters in a new and improved way. The day's celestial configuration indicates that you have a day of real passion and romantic love in store for you. You and your partner may well discover new heights in your relationship by trying out something different together. If you are looking for romance, anything connected with gambling, philosophy, or movies will be connected to fun. How can you speak your truth? You are usually not afraid to go against the grain, even at work, so the moon entering Aquarius can help you speak up and stand out. The lunation encourages radical free thinking and innovation, which will help you share your unusual, unconventional insights with your colleagues. If anything, make sure the tone, turf, and timing are right when you want to share. Your insight is valid, but you should consider how radical it might be before introducing it to your workplace. With that being said, it could definitely be authentic. If you want what you have been doing over the last month to be successful, you may have to make some important decisions today. This won't be an easy task as several people will try to influence your decisions. Even if you think you can resist the pressure, it may be necessary to burn a few bridges before the day is done. Personal relationships don't always run according to plan. Turbulent situations crop up again and again, requiring all your energy. Smaller arguments and conflicts seem to be pre-programmed. Keep calm and deal with this turmoil in a relaxed fashion. Life is still crazy busy, but you like it that way, up to a point. Today, you love all the excess, but pretty soon, tomorrow, probably, you're going to be in serious need of some downtime. If you feel your romantic life needs reevaluating, make an assessment of your personal life and understand what is positive, unique, and desirable about you, also what you want and why from a relationship. In this way you can create a sure and positive impression when you first meet others that they can respect. Although you may pride yourself in having tremendous patience, this quality may be hard to come by on a day like this. It is quite possible that you will find that you have bent as far as you can. You have reached the breaking point. The final straw is about to be placed on the camel's back. Feel free to let loose the explosion of emotion that this day calls for. There is no good in trying to maintain a saintly demeanor if you are burning up because of the fire that is raging inside. Take care that your generosity and loyalty toward a family member doesn't cost you too much in the long run. You may feel as though you don't have a choice when it comes to fulfilling requests from someone in your family, and perhaps even more so on a day of your own essence. Nonetheless, remember that you always have the choice. If there is something you just aren't comfortable with, the added energy of this day can give you the extra courage you need to take a stand. With Mercury, the planet of communication, in his first weekend back in your relationship sector just as the Sun has reached his last weekend here, having the Moon in your communication sector has been an incredible bonus. An alignment with Saturn but also a friendly aspect to the Sun before leaving is not only allowing the communication lines to flow more smoothly but is helping to cement a bond between the communication and relationship gods. Meanwhile, in her last weekend in your work sector, Venus is working to raise the bar on your expectations. With Mercury, the planet of communication, in his first and the Sun in his last weekend in your relationship sector, the focus was always going to be on your relationships and on having the communication lines open. Helping with this is the Moon's friendly aspect to the Sun just before leaving your communication sector, capping off a powerful few days on the communication and relationship fronts. Our eyes in the sky. The Aries Aquarius moon is your offbeat emotional guide for the day, urging you to forget about what other people think about you and just be your true, authentic self. This is easier said than done, but you really should have an easier go of it with this authentic, unique, and yes, tad bit rebellious lunar energy backing you up. Some great things to do now are making new friendships with interesting people you wouldn't normally include in your friend group and breaking free from stale, old life routines that no longer meet your needs. Later in the day, a Moon-Mars sextile helps you attract playmates, possibly, but not necessarily, in the sexual sense, who match your strong independent spirit and desire to experiment and think outside the box. You can form a strong partnership with this person, but having fun in the moment doesn't mean it will last forever. The desire for intimacy is strong, but satisfaction isn't always guaranteed. Don't worry about relationships ending or falling apart. As long as you make the effort to get along with others, you can easily remedy any tense situations. Mercury is still in its retrograde shadow, which means that you'll have time to make amends and clear up any misunderstandings. Knowing this removes the pressure that you could be feeling. If you're aware of how to act, then you can certainly temper yourself to act in a more appropriate manner in your relationships. Before noon, the Aquarius moon trines the Gemini sun. Under this easygoing aspect, we attract the proper alliances, moving through the day feeling calm and confident. Stressors roll off our backs, and conflict fails to provoke us. We also remain relaxed and open-minded in our engagements. With both luminaries currently in social air signs, we are particularly oriented to sharing what is on our minds. However, we are not especially self-centered, which makes us receptive to different points of view. Following this aspect's perfection, the moon begins its void of course, lasting until the late afternoon. At this time, we should avoid starting new projects, thinking of ourselves in the information-gathering stage instead. Mid-afternoon, Venus in Taurus squares off with Saturn in Aquarius, provoking relational tension. This transit can create difficulties in our intimate affairs, but it can also be a productive influence if used correctly. Primarily, this square enlightens us about the fact that something is not working as smoothly as it could be within our unions. Latent factors are prompting feelings of distance, detachment, or irritation within our partnerships. This is normal. When people with individual baggage seek to align their needs, some adjustment is required. Especially once we get past the honeymoon phase, we can neglect to put in the work to meet someone where they are. Instead, we wind up meeting them where they were, even though we are in the present. Try to have patience with loved ones now. Putting in some extra effort could be all that is required to get back on track.